Do you see now how the first check on the government is that we must consent? But the second check is that we do not run the government. In America, in the government of the United States, in the federal government, what is it that the people do absolutely none of?
Make the laws.
Creating the judiciary branch.
Enforcing
Enforcing
laws.
They are not judges, they are not legislators, and they are not executives over the law. They are entirely excluded from the operation of the government. Isn't that odd, right? In England and Great Britain, at the time of the American Revolution, who was the executive?
The king.
The king.
And his ministers, right? And who was the sovereign? The king, right? So the one possessing legitimate title to rule occupied the executive branch. In Athens, who was the legislature?
The people.
The people. And who was the sovereign?
The people.
The people. Athens was just the people would meet, and they were always changing their mind. And so in America, it is different because unlike Athens, unlike England, all the sovereignty is ours. We may not be governed except by our consent. And if we don't give it, no governing. All government is illegitimate except with that. And of course, it follows from that in the practical operation of the government, since unanimity is impossible, majority rule. And of course, in a college, in a proper college, if you disagree, somebody's wrong. We're here to find out who's wrong and who's right. Well, we always disagree. How are we ever going to figure it out, right? But yeah, so there's going to be voting and there's going to be disagreement, and we're not going to reach unanimity. Why is the majority the right thing?
It seems like it's more probable that more people, since it's not a mob at that time, because they're voting on something in a Republican fashion, that they would have considered it in a way that would refine their opinions.
Ooh, that's really novel. I don't think it's true. All men are created equal. You got 300 people. 160 want to do A, and 140 want to do not A. If you do what the 140 says, you've got yourself an aristocracy, right? In other words, the majority of equal souls has to stand in for the unanimous consent, right? And in anything not fundamental, or anything that involves the ongoing operation of the government, that's what you need. You see? So the point is, you're going to have majorities rule. You're going to have representation. And that gives rise to something new. And Madison says that it's never happened before. It's unique. The sovereign is the people, as expressed by what I'll introduce a new phrase that Abraham Lincoln liked. The people, as they express their will through their constitutional majority, is the only true sovereign of a free people. And so that's where sovereignty is. That's where the right to say, the legitimate title to rule is. But those people, the sovereign, are entirely excluded from the operation of the government. Do you see now how the first check on the government is that we must consent? But the second check on the government is that we, who have the power to consent, do not run the government. And that second check is a check on us. The Federalist answer is that every human exercise of power must be restrained by reason, and there are constitutional forms that have to be implemented that can help bring that out. And if the first constitutional form is representation, the method by which we give our ongoing consent, the second is the separation between sovereignty and power. So, you get consent, And that gives rise to representation, and that gives rise to a separation between the sovereign and the government. And Madison says, this has never been done before.
Thank you for watching. We hope you're enjoying our highlight series and invite you to explore all of Hillsdale College's online courses. They are free and for everyone who loves to learn.